Canon just released the R6 V, which is a super cool, neat little camera for only $2,400. And Sony just released the a7R6, which is a very interesting play for them. I have lots of hot takes about these two cameras, so let's talk about it. First up, let's talk about Canon and what they're actually doing with the R6 V. Not too long ago, they released the R50 V, which kind of started this new line of cameras with this new interesting body shape, but it was a crop sensor camera, very affordable, entry-level style of camera with some pretty great features. But what the R6 V is doing is basically kind of combining a middle point with that style of body, but taking features from the R6 Mark III that just came out and the Canon C50, and it's right in between. And I'm probably spoiling the whole video, but I think this may be one of Canon's best cameras that they have ever made. And if you're a video first type creator, this might be literally the perfect camera for you. It's got the same sensor that's in the R6 Mark III and the C50, that 32.5 megapixel sensor. 7K, it's got open gate, it's got an internal cooling fan now. Yay, Canon can finally stop overheating. Is it as good as the C50 fan? No, but still, fans are a plus. You've got oversampled 4K, which is that 4K fine setting where it's oversampled from the 7K sensor. Uncropped 4K up to 120 frames. Raw video, which is just insane in a camera of this price point, which is similar to kind of what Nikon is doing with the ZR. And it is very much more video focused because they removed the viewfinder, there's no mechanical shutter, and they added like a front record button, tally lights, and different things like that that kind of push it towards video focused creators, while still being pretty awesome for photos. They added in waveform, false color, which just, I'll get to my rants in a minute. Waveform, false color, zebras, dual card slots with the CF Express and SD, and they even added a cool little mounting point so that you can mount vertical, which is genius, and I don't know why everyone else isn't doing this. And it even comes in at a lower price than the R6 Mark III. Now, this is what I feel like Canon is doing with the R6 V. They have actually listened to the audience. They've listened to their customers. They've listened to, oh, and I didn't even mention, it has IBIS. So they took stuff from the R6 Mark III, they took stuff from the C50, but then listened to the people. Like they put IBIS in, gave that in-between option that has the awesome video features. They added in the open gate, added in the 7K, added in the RAW, added in all these really cool features, and listened to the people. And this camera is probably one of the best Canon cameras that they have come out with. It's more compact. They're kind of listening to what everyone wants with those smaller, more compact bodies that still get the job done. It packs all of those features in while still being that middle of the range affordable. $2,400 price range. It's actually $2,500 price range, which puts it right in that prosumer area that people really need, but with all of the features that are tucked into those larger models. Are there some compromises? Absolutely. But if you want, to go all the way, get the C50, get something that's more expensive. But what's packed into this camera is just unbelievable to me. And I'm a Sony shooter, but I did start on Canon. So I can definitely honestly be able to say that if you shoot Canon and are invested in Canon glass, I would recommend picking up this camera because it is such a neat little camera. So let me know in the comments down below if you're planning to pre-order the Canon R6 V. But now we have to address the elephant in the room and talk about Sony, okay? I am a Sony shooter. I've actually shot multiple brands. I used to own Canon, I had a Canon EOS R, Canon SL2 is what I started on. I've had a Blackmagic 6K Pro, shot on that for a while. I own a Fujifilm X100V, X100VI, and I own the Sony FX3 and the Sony a7C II, which is what I'm shooting on right now. So primarily, I am a Sony shooter. I switched over from Canon because at the time, the FX3 several years ago was like the only camera that could do all of the things that I wanted. Had IBIS, had 4K 120 frames per second with no crop, had really incredible low light performance. It checked all of my boxes. Well, it's been years and Sony decides to release, I had high hopes for this Sony release, and they decide to release another R line. Now, before you go in the comments, which I know this is gonna rage bait everybody in the comments anyway, this whole video is gonna trigger people. I understand that the Sony a7R6 is an incredible camera and has some really incredible features that Sony has brought to it. But this is not what anyone asked for. The problem is that Sony is not listening to the people. This is not what we wanted. We wanted compact body. We want FX3 Mark II with 32-bit float, or maybe 6K instead of just 4K. Like, no one asked for 8K. No one asked for the buttons to light up on the back, which is cool. No one asked for a new battery. Like, someone in one of the reviews was like, oh, but they send you 2 batteries. I'm like, yeah, they sent you 2 batteries. They knew everybody would be so ticked if they only sent one, because no one owns them. Everyone owns the little NZP, whatever, 100, battery that we've had for forever. Now, I get it. It's a better battery, lasts longer. It's a little bit smaller. There's a new charger that like tells you the health. But really, Sony? Like, you're gonna come out with an R series. Like, not all of us shoot wildlife. I mean, I like birds. But this is just not really what the market, I think, was looking for. And maybe Sony, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Sony is using this to test out some new features so that, we'll be to kind of have a tease of what they could put in the FX3 Mark II that's hopefully coming at some point. But it would have even been cool to see them kind of innovate and come out with something similar to what Canon's kind of putting out, of really innovating, like putting open gate in a little $2,400 camera that's got all these really cool features packed in. Why couldn't Sony do that instead of a how much is the R6? $4,500 camera. And even though I don't own the A1 or the A1 II, based on the reviews, this is basically, it's missing a few things, but it's also like way better at a few things than like the flagships. So they're almost cannibalizing their A1 and A1 II with the A7R6. But let's just quickly, let's cover what we're getting in this camera, because I understand it does have some really awesome stuff packed in it. So let's just cover the specs real quick. We'll just read through these, okay? 67 megapixel full frame stacked sensor. Now, the stacked sensor is a really cool added feature. This helps with, rolling shutter. There's no pixel binning, all of the great things. And with it being high megapixel, that's kind of a new, really cool headline feature. Up to 30 frames per second burst shooting, blackout free shooting, 16 stops of dynamic range. That's one of the highest that Sony has come out with in their cameras. Uncropped 8K up to 30 frames, because we all need 8K. It's important. 4K up to 120 frames. We've had that for a while. It's not really like a major feature. It is a major feature for the R line though. Improved AI autofocus, up to 8.5 stops of IBIS. I think this has a new stabilization system. I could be wrong on that. It's got, a really good EVF that's OLED, redesigned grip. I also saw in some of the reviews there's like a new little added grip. I don't know why we're going back to the gigantic, it's like a 1DX Mark II all over again. Got the new battery, 17% higher capacity than the NP-FZ100s that we've been using. Dual USB-C ports, and of course, those buttons light up, which, they're backlit. So I totally get this is an awesome, really stacked camera. One of the reviews I watched from Donna Did It, he was saying he owns, like the top of the line A1 Mark IIs, and he was kind of considering, well, this basically is so similar when I'm shooting with it, should I just pick up one of these and it's a lot cheaper and sell one of my A1 Mark IIs? I think he ended up deciding not to, because they're literally so similar. There's only those really negligible differences that Sony kind of came out with. And I think that's the point of my entire rant about this, is that Sony is not listening to what we as camera creators, filmmakers, YouTubers actually want in a camera. It's way less about new features at this point. Like, the features exist, they just all exist in different camera models. But we were kind of hoping that with Canon coming out, like, this is a really innovative camera, the R6 V for Canon. It's very neat, it's packed with features. They're finally listening to the people. They put a fan, they put IBIS, they put open gate. All the things, you can only have open gate in 7K, but you have open gate if you so desire. You also have RAW if you want it. So they're putting it there to give you that option. And I think that's what we've been asking for Sony, is like, give us these options. And then there's, the whole thing with the Sony a7R6. You do get 32-bit float if you use the new XLR top handle edition that has the 32-bit float in it. So no, it's not internal in the camera. So it's like Nikon is doing what you know, they're being innovative. They're doing what the filmmakers and the creators are asking for. Really cool little camera for only $2,200. It's got the 32-bit float, got RAW, got the really cool new screen design. And then Canon innovates $2,400 camera with all these really cool packed in features that, like, seriously, it's one of the best video cameras that I would now recommend if you shoot Canon, because I think choosing the camera should kind of be based on how invested you are in the brand, like lens-wise. I'm very invested in Sony glass. Otherwise, I'd probably pick up the little Canon R6 V because it's such a cool camera. But yeah, anyway, I'd recommend that if you shoot Canon. But Sony then comes along and it's just like they're just out there doing their thing. We're gonna bring out another R-line camera, stack it full of some random new features. It's almost like they're just testing them. Like, can we put these things in? And then they'll finally put it into like an FX3 Mark II or some other innovative design camera when they decide to. I thought they did a great job releasing the a7 V last year. That's a really cool little camera, big upgrade from the a7 IV. But the a7R6 was just not what we were waiting for next. They just didn't listen. And I can say all of this because I'm a Sony shooter. And I do love Sony. And I love my a7C II. And I love the FX3. And I love all of my Sony lenses. But come on, Sony. Just give us the camera that we want. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about these two camera releases. The Canon R6 V, let me know what you think about that, and the Sony a7R6. And what is your wish list for the next Sony camera that they finally release? What would you like it to have? Maybe I should post a follow-up video with my wish list for like an FX3 Mark II or like some new variation of like maybe an a7C III or something like that. Well, let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and made it this far with me ranting heavily about cameras, check out this video right over here where I talk about the Sony a7 V and the Canon R6 Mark III.